So actually, the specialization requires a certain amount of modules that align with the specialization. For example, finance. So it will require minimum five financial related modules. If you take it, then you will be eligible to be specialized in finance. In that case, I had the idea that, okay, some of the financial modules are already core modules. If I'm not mistaken, there were two of them, yeah, the finance and also accounting. So let me just take three more again in the electives to make it five and be to be eligible for specialization. Same thing happened with strategy. So these two things, finance strategy, was my main interest at the time because, like I said before, not only I have the idea to switch career, but I may also want to excel in banking at the time because I was a banker. So learning finance such as fund management, M&A, and then strategy like business modeling will also help me in the future. Well, uh, the short one, yeah, the modules can be very challenging, especially those related to finance and business modeling could take time to study and also to do the team exercise. But that's why we're going back to school, right? To learn new things and push ourselves beyond our limit. But hey, don't worry about this. The NUS MBA is not that kind of school that demanded like 5 days a week full of class all day. They're not that kind of school. They understand the people. So we got a lot of time outside of class. Understand that classes are important, but the other important essence of the MBA is the network you could gain. That's why one of the requirements that differs the MBA from most MSc in business, maybe in most schools in the world, yeah, is the network you could gain. Yeah, and the requirement is probably the longer working experience, usually around minimum 3 to 5 years, yeah, for people to get an MBA in a reputable school. So we need to go out, join student events, mingle with people beyond our classmates, have some fun, create moments we never expect, because you never know you ever meet, right? Like all the other alumni just spoke of, they gain opportunity from meeting other people. That's where the value is. And the program office itself understand the importance in connection. That's why they provided things like company networking session and alumni network. I even got my current job in commodity trading through mingling outside campus. Those kind of things wouldn't be possible if I'm too busy with academics, even though academics is still important. Yeah. Okay. As far as I can remember, usually students get to sign up um, for this exchange on early second semester, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, around February and January on their second year. I remember at the time this UC Berkeley exchange was new. If I'm not mistaken, it was the first time for my batch for the NUS MBA. So I get the idea because I already have a target that I wanted to stay in Singapore to look for jobs to settle in Singapore. So I wasn't those kind of people who would pursue a long-term exchange for a full semester. For me, Berkeley is very ideal because it's a short exchange. It gives me the chance to study in the US for a short while. And I always fond of learning about the Bay Area. Yeah, it's one of the most innovative area in the world, such as Berkeley, Stanford's people right there. So that's why for me it's very valuable. And when I see the batch of people going to Berkeley, like I said before, it's not only the full-time MBA from my batch. There are people from the previous batch, the part-timers, and also executive MBA. Those people, to be honest, I may have lesser chance to meet them. But again, NUS MBA opened this door for me, a whole lot of opportunity. I think for me it's maybe like a personal thing. It's to be honest, one of the traits in my personality. I just mingle a lot. I mean, it's not something new for me when I got to Singapore in NUS MBA. I mingle a lot with people in Indonesia. And then when I get to Singapore, it is something new. I mean, I never really interact with friends from, let's say, other Asian countries, from Europe, all over the world. It's everything new to me. So again, I push myself. I just had to know how to mingle with people, how to understand them, be more sensitive and be less sensitive about myself. Yeah, and just try a lot of new things. Dubai, Singapore, Indonesia. Oh, sorry, Dubai, Singapore, Jakarta. Yeah, they are very different. Yeah,
Mm,
they're very different in climate. They're very different in infrastructure, in culture. But then again, I just have to adapt to push myself. Yeah,
mm,
it wasn't really a problem for me because I keep moving places all
mm,
my life,
mm,
even though I spend most of my lifetime in Jakarta. But yeah, it's not really an issue for me. You can leverage from your experience, yeah, first of all, because to be honest, that you mentioned your career background is similar like me,
mm,
because in a bank, in my last position in HSBC, I was actually a product manager, so it's kind of similar. And in Singapore, there are a lot of opportunity in product management in banks, and also like the financial technology there, yeah. But the difference between Singapore and Indonesia is probably the scope. Usually in Singapore, the scope is bigger. They're not only managing about their country scope, domestic scope, but they're also managing the whole Southeast Asia or maybe Asia Pacific. Yeah, yeah. For example, I had some interview to be a product manager in a Asia Pacific scope. Yeah, for example. So yeah, the responsibility is a lot bigger. But
mm,
if you're really advancing in your background, you should try it out
mm,
because there are a lot of opportunity in Singapore. Either you can just excel in your current industry or
mm,
what you're good at, or just um, switch a career also, like I did. I think the first thing is to be open.
mm,
Yeah, don't keep ourselves in a box. Let's say I only want this job, I only want that job, I only want minimum payment
mm,
this number. Just be open, and
mm,
not only be open to look for any jobs, but be open to people. For me, to be honest, the story how I got my internship is that I remember around October 2022. So the MBA office had a company networking session outside campus. Yeah, I think they're having it every year, maybe once or twice. There, I was talking to a consultant from Bearing Point. To
mm,
be honest, I wasn't even looking for a job at the time. It was his first semester. I was just enjoying my time as an MBA. So we were just talking, laughing about anything random we had in mind. We just getting connected.
mm,
But in the end, but please remember that always remember to ask for their contact, yeah, LinkedIn, WhatsApp,
mm,
you name it. That's still important. And then fast forward to April 2023, it was time where everyone was looking for summer internship or even the way all the way to the third semester. So for me, with nothing to lose, I just chat this guy, the consultant, through LinkedIn, and hey, let's have dinner. And it's okay. We just had a dinner, and then it was casual. It was fine. We just talking, and then at the end of the dinner, he was asking me like, "Hey, so,
mm,
what are you doing in Singapore now? Are you still in MBA or are you working?" And then, boom,
mm,
that's the chance. Just tell him, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for a job. Do you have something?" And then, yeah, because I already know him personally, we had fun. We were connected. He was okay. He referred me to the managers, directors, and partners.
mm,
Made things much easier for me back then. And
mm,
well, the rest is history. So I think one thing that prospect students should know about the MBA, from my point of view, is that the MBA is a generalist. Yeah, it's not specific like something software engineering or
mm,
even something like accountant. No, we do learn accounting, but it's not specific that way. There's a lot of things to choose. Well, at the time, I choose finance and strategy. There are a lot of options such as marketing and then also operations. There are a lot of things. So we can learn everything. We understand something in a holistic way because that's what senior management will do, right? They're not only focusing on something like only developing product, only financial accounting. They have to know the big picture, what's going on in the company or even outside the company. That's the thing. So, and other things that value added through the MBA, like I said, is the people. There are people from various background, from everywhere. For example, Angel earlier, the speaker earlier, he had 10 years of experience. At this time, I'm nowhere near him. I joined MBA when I was only I got only 5 years experience at the time. He got 10. So I can even learn from him, learn from the students, not only the professors, and also to mingle with people. There's a lot of opportunity, and you just have to open yourself that door. There's no use if NUS MBA can open the door for you if you won't open the door for yourself. So I choose Singapore. There could be two factors. The first one is, well, NUS itself. The second one is Singapore. So NUS, at the time I was joining, correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't in the top 10 yet, yeah. But now it's in the top 10 in back in 2023 based on QS. So uh, it's growing. It's a matter of life, right? Like there's no university that's always up there. There's no university always down there. But NUS and maybe some other rivals in Singapore. I mean, just to mention, let's say SMU, NTU, they're growing. They're getting better each year. And why is that? The academic system is good in Singapore. I mean, Singapore is not a new country for me. I've been visited Singapore a few times back, yeah, especially before COVID. Uh, it's one of the most advanced country in the world. Yeah, they know what they're doing, how they develop the infrastructure, how they develop the culture, develop the academic, and that is why they can attract people from around the world, not only for going to school but also for working. They got people from Europe, from Asia, from Americas, everywhere. And the more diverse a country, the more learning opportunity you can get. And there's always a thing you can learn every day. So to be honest, well, it's not easy. You can ask any students, and they will say it's not easy. Even though if you job hunting in your own country, still it's not easy. But in Singapore, yeah, it is competitive. Yeah, you can see the basic average salary is big. So when there's a big salary, there's a big responsibility, and they need a big qualification, right? It's all aligned. You just can't deny that. But the thing I love about the job hunting in Singapore is that Singapore you can consider as the heart of Southeast Asia or even Asia Pacific. So everything is there. Any kinds of opportunity, let's say for banking, for tech, for consulting, for commodity trading, shipping, everything is in Singapore. You just need to have the right connection. And sometimes for fresh grads or even MBA, like I said, we're generalists. They won't expect us to be 5 years experience in shipping operations to be hired in a commodity trading. No, it's more of a generalist. So you just need the right opportunity. And if you also know the right people, let me tell you something that in Singapore, there's a huge business for headhunters. Yeah, they're looking for jobs. They know the job openings. If you know them, they could introduce you to people. For example, for myself, um, like I said, I never really meet people to have some kind of purpose yet. I mean, not that serious. I just mingle with people. Let's say we're just having a dinner together, we're watching football together, just hanging out. So one time I know this British guy, he's really fun. And actually he's a headhunter in commodity. And I spoke to him and then he just referred me to the Swiss Singapore company. So who knows, right? Yeah, just always open yourself. To be honest, if you really just relying on LinkedIn, just apply jobs appropriately. I mean, there's a chance, but again, it would be much better if you have connections.